Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a book review for Blood Truth by J.R. Ward. This is book 4 in the Black Dagger Legacy series, which is a spin-off of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, and you can only read this after you have read all 17 of the original books and 3 of the Black Dagger Legacy books. So you gotta read like 21 books, 20 books. You gotta read 20 books before you get to this one, but I'm gonna review it for you. So if you have not read this or the rest of the series, you can leave now. It's gonna be spoilery. I can't review the 21st book in a series, technically. Yeah, without saying a couple spoilers. So this came out on Tuesday and I was graciously given a copy from the publisher, so thank you so much to Gallery Books for sending me a copy of this book. I love the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I started reading it last year and have read all of it now. This is the first book that has come out that I've officially been caught up on every single book in the series. I was almost done with it when The Savior came out, but I had like 3 books to read before that came out. So as a reader who is officially caught up with the series, I was highly anticipating this book. This is Boone's story, and so this, I believe, is the last of the spin-off because he is the last trainee. This series follows the trainees, if you guys know, so if you've read them, if you're watching this video. And Boone is someone that I didn't really know a lot about from the previous book, so I wasn't sure how I was gonna like his story. All I knew was that we're gonna get a ton of Butch, and I was all for that. Butch is one of my favorites, if you didn't know. Manny is too, and we've been getting a lot of Manny in this series as well. He's hilarious. I love him so much, and he was in this book as well. And this book was marketed, or like the summary on the back. It's about Boone, who is a trainee, and he is going to help Butch solve these serial killer murders. There have been 3, and the 3rd one just happened, and Boone is going to team with Butch to solve the mystery. It wasn't really a mystery in my opinion. Like, we kind of knew who did it in the beginning, and there wasn't a lot of suspense behind it, in my opinion. I felt like it was much more romance heavy than mystery in this book, which I actually really liked because I'm here for the romance. Boone has a romance with Helania. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I say like 60% of the names in this series wrong. It's Helania. It's Helania. Helania? I'm gonna say Helania, sure. And she, of course, so what J.R. Ward likes to do is have a difference in class structure. So Boone is of the Glymera. He is of a wealthy family, and he is actually engaged in an arranged marriage. And so Helania, I feel weird saying that name, is a regular vampire. She like lives in an apartment. She's not rich. She lived with her sister, but then her sister's actually one of the people who were killed by the serial killer, and so that is how Boone and Helania met. I really enjoyed how they met and how they kind of were really drawn to each other, and then Boone really wants to protect her. I really enjoyed that. I do wish we saw a lot more of the training class because we didn't. We see a ton of them all in the previous books, but like we only got to see Paradise and Craig once when they went on a double date, and I don't even know if we saw, what are their names? From Peyton and his love interest, the girl from the previous book. I'm horrible with names, I apologize. We didn't really get to see them like at all, and the book 2 guy, which I don't remember his name either. So we don't get to really see a lot of the trainee class, but I guess that's okay. And I'm really missing, I know this is a spinoff, but like I don't think we saw even Zetas once. I think we saw Vicious like 2 or 3 times interacting with Butch, and we saw Rage once. We didn't see a lot of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. I did enjoy Wrath and his part because obviously Wrath is like the king, so he's got to have a lot of responsibilities, and so we did get to see a lot of Wrath. Again, now don't really see a lot of the Shellens in this. The ladies were like gone except for Doc Jane. We got to see Marissa like once, I feel like. So granted, this is a spin-off, but I really wish we saw a lot more of the other characters, and it did feel very much like a romance and not a mystery to me, which is what we get in her books. But the synopsis made it sound like there's gonna be this huge mystery and it's gonna be super dangerous and they're gonna be following the serial killer. All 3 murders have already happened, and so there's not that like urgency to get it because it doesn't feel like he's gonna kill someone again because they've been spread out. So I think I would have liked a little bit more like of a thrill and a mystery. Like, yeah, it was kind of shocking at the end who did it, but I wanted a little bit more. I did love how we got Butch though, and how he kind of reflected on his past and being a cop as a human. I really enjoyed that, and how he kind of missed his partner and talked about that. I'm a little confused. They saw some lessers and so they decided to, I mean, like they killed a couple of them, but again, the lessers are like fading off. And so at the end of the Savior, there was someone who came out and was like walking in high heels. That's Davina from the Fallen Angel series. I haven't read that yet. I don't know who she is. That was not even mentioned in here, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure this happens after the Savior. It does, because Boone's dad died at the end of the Savior, and so that's what this is about. They don't mention that. They don't really mention the Omega. They don't mention anything going on with the Scribe Virgin. Maybe it's because it is a spinoff, and I was expecting kind of something more like the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, but this didn't really have anything to do with any of that plot line except for the murder that happened at the end of the Savior. Other than that, there was nothing to do with the Black Dagger Brotherhood series in this, in my opinion. And I don't know if that's a purpose or not because it is a spinoff. Like I said, I keep on saying that, but then I'm just like, kind of, what is the point of this book other than giving Boone a romance? Because it just felt like a romance in the story that wasn't really even necessary at all. Except for to introduce Sin because he's gonna get the next BDB book. So I feel like this is really more of like a bridge book that's not necessary in the series. Because we do get to know Sin a little bit in this. Like I didn't even remember who Sin was. I don't even remember ever seeing him in the series. I'm pretty sure we do. He's part of the Band of Bastards. But his character is set up to have his romance. And I guess like it's setting up for the Destroyer prophecy, all that stuff to come into play in the next book. So we're getting a lot of Butch in the next book, but that didn't really matter. So I give this 4 to 5 stars. I'm like, it's really good. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't feel necessary for the series except for being another additional romance for one of the trainees to have as something to tide over until the next BDB book. Nothing really important was happening. Nothing crazy was revealed. It was just like, oh, we're gonna have this romance and then we're gonna introduce Sin and show his conflict so we can set up his book. That's what this was. I still enjoyed it. It was short too. Like, I mean, it's 400 pages. That's short for J.R. Ward. A lot of her beginning books were 600 pages. And so I wanted it to be longer, but if it were longer, it would have to have all that stuff that's in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, which I get is part of that series and not this series, but that's just it. It was definitely not something necessary for the series except for to set up the next book. I still enjoyed it though. The romance was fun. I really enjoyed Boone and Helenia. I don't know how I enjoyed that epilogue. It kind of seemed too HEA, like, oh, we're just so happy and in love now. And I'm like, okay, you only just met like a week ago. But I still loved it. I read it really quickly, 4 out of 5 stars. And I'm really excited for the next book because I wasn't a fan of the Savior, so we'll see how the Sinner is. If we get so much Butch in there though, I'm gonna be so excited, which apparently we do, and it sounds like it's gonna be like a culminating book that we've been waiting for like 3 books, because I feel like the reason I didn't like the Savior was kind of like with this one where not a lot actually happened or was revealed. There are so many of the Black Dagger Brotherhood books where crazy things are happening. You don't know who's gonna die. You have to save people. There's crazy battles going on, and then it's just kind of like crickets right now. And like we see those footprints at the end of the Savior, and it's gonna all come now, which I really hope it lives up to its expectations. Those are my thoughts on Blood Truth. Let me know down below if you read it and if you enjoyed it, and if you agree with what I said or not. I would love to know. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.